2025 Ducati Streetfighter V4 S First Ride. Aerodynamics, electronics, and pure fury. These reach 11. The renowned spinal tap sequence resonates in my mind as I gaze down at a nearly widescreen ratio. 6 9-inch TFT display and modify the riding. Mode of the 2025 Ducati Streetfighter V4S from sport to race. Moments later, the acceleration along the back straight of the Andalusia circuit escalates from a substantial second gear thrust to an exceedingly swift surge through fifth gear, prompting another remark from Ducati Streetfighter V4S product manager Marco. Chikudo to surface in my thoughts. This is very much a Panigale V4S devoid of a fairing. At 150 mph, I briefly fantasize about it being a Panigale. However, during the highest velocity attained here in Spain, I reassure myself, indeed, this one ascends to 11. A naked Panigale Vigao SS since its establishment, Ducati Streetfighter has epitomized one of the most extreme instances in the naked motorcycle segment. Yet, as we enter 2025, it attains a level that is merely a fraction below the superbike Panigale it is derived from. Developed almost concurrently with the Panigale, the Streetfighter shares the same frame, suspension, electronics, and formidable 16 Stradale V4 engine. The discrepancies can be counted on both hands. Rake and trail, gear ratios, final gearing, rear suspension linkage, larger radiator, and an unencumbered configuration. Perhaps naked is an exaggeration, but where the upper fairing would traditionally be is a headlight pod affixed to the Öhlins Smart EC3 suspension integrated front end, with vertical shrouds supporting a pair of biplane winglets. This distinction is palpable not only aesthetically, but also viscerally as you accelerate through 5th and 6th gears. Lacking a full fairing, the wind resistance is substantial, further accentuating the prowess of the Streetfighter Fefism 4S. Every corner, straightaway, and braking zone reveals the connection between the Panigale and Streetfighter. It is undeniably a superbike without a tire. 16 Stradale engine, the identical 16 Stradale V4 engine utilized in the Panigale V4 powers the Streetfighter. A MotoGP mandated 81. 0 mm bore is paired with a 53. 5 mm stroke 4 times over, culminating in a displacement of Allo 3 cc. Valve actuation is facilitated through Ducati's Desmodromic system, a hallmark of Ducati's most potent engines. A counter-rotating crankshaft, spinning counter to the wheels, is also derived from MotoGP, designed to minimize inertial resistance to directional shifts. Fuel delivery is managed via a variable intake system that measures 25 mm at its shortest and 80 mm at its longest. This marks the inaugural instance of the Streetfighter featuring this Panigale-validated intake. At this launch, the European spec V4S models boast a claimed output of 214 HP, whereas the US variants will receive only 205 HP. This peak output is attained at 12,650 RPM, in contrast to the higher 13,500 RPM in the EU variants. Peak torque is 0. 2 lb FTT lower than the EU model, registering at 88. 3 lb FTTC at 11,500 RPM. It falls just 4 HP short of the maximum figure produced by the Panigale in US configuration. First, second, and sixth gears are more succinct on the Streetfighter compared to the Panigale, providing enhanced low-end power. The abbreviated 1542, 1641 on the Panigale. Final drive ratio further amplifies the eagerness of the V4S as it exits a corner. A newly engineered quickshifter, 2.0, relocates the shift sensor from the gear selection linkage to the shift drum, facilitating more direct and substantial gear transitions. On the racetrack, the Streetfighter's V4 engine accelerates vigorously, right from the lower RPMs, gathering momentum with a surge that remains relentless until just prior to reaching the rev limiter. Despite its formidable power, the V4 engine is refined, courtesy of the most sophisticated Ducati adaptive vehicle control suite to date. It offers 4 riding modes: wet, road, sport, and race, preset with one of 8 lean-sensitive Ducati. Traction control, DTC configurations, one of 3 engine power settings, high, medium, low, one of 8 levels of Ducati wheelie control, DWC, one of 2 Ducati slide control settings, and one of 3 engine brake control, EBC levels. DTC, DWC, and DSC can be customized to personal preference, including the option to deactivate them entirely. Both DTC and DWC are managed by the Advanced and Anticipatory Ducati Vehicle Control (DVO) system. Navigating one of Europe's most challenging circuits aboard the most potent Streetfighter to date presents a formidable challenge. However, with the array of rider assistance features, the abundant power and torque are easily manageable. From the outset, even on the track, it becomes apparent that the V4S possesses a controllable and practical character that allows for road use that can be as temperate or exhilarating as desired. Engaging race mode transforms the motorcycle into a machine that seemingly distorts space and time. Extended straights become brief, braking zones arrive rapidly, and apexes are navigated effortlessly. Absent the biplane wings, which generate 99 pounds of downforce at 168 mph alongside DWC, Ducati's engineers and test riders assert that the Streetfighter would be nearly unmanageable. With only the DWC disabled, the front wheel elevates toward the heavens with merely a light application of the throttle. Surpassing the 150 mm threshold, those wings prevent the Streetfighter V4S from becoming flighty and unstable as wind pressure. And on the rider endeavors to lift the front wheel. Chassis. For the first time, we have a Streetfighter that is the closest iteration ever to a Panigale, remarks Giulio Fabbri, Ducati's head of product communications. Not solely because it possesses 6 additional horsepower compared to the preceding model, EU version, and is 4 kilograms, 8 pounds lighter, but due to the entirety of the package. It astounds us. Just as there are minimal alterations. To the engine, the chassis mirrors that of the Panigale almost precisely. The aluminum front frame is equivalent to the one utilized in the Superbike and is connected to the engine, which functions as a stressed member and essentially constitutes the largest element of the framework. Only the bushings that contain the steering head bearings differ. They adjust the head angle by an additional ½ degree to 24. 5. Consequently, the trail has been incremented by 1 mm, resulting in a measurement of 9 inches. Similar to the Panigale, the Streetfighter is equipped with a new double-sided swing arm. Lateral rigidity has been diminished by 43% compared to the former single-sided configuration, enhancing grip during acceleration and ensuring better stability upon exiting corners. Moreover, it is 4 pounds lighter than the 2024 swing arm. Overall, the total weight reduction amounts to 9 pounds. The V4 now registers a claimed weight of 417 pounds when wet, devoid of fuel.